Lovely voice there. Okay. So we have reached our final 10 minutes of the lesson. Kate, are you still comfortable sharing your screen? And feel free to write in the chat if you are not.
No, I didn't really get much done. I was mostly rushing, so I don't really feel comfortable sharing today, but I'll share next week.
Absolutely fine. Is there anyone out there that wants to share before I go back to kind of our recap summary? If you do, please write it in the chat now or forever hold your peace. I'll give about a 15-second count in my head. I won't count out loud to spare you all. But if so, now, Johanna. Yes, Johanna, you may share. I would love to see what you've created. And David, you can go after.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. All right.
I like your bunny.
Thank you. All right.
Ooh.
So I kind of tried to do the same thing as you did, but I kind of make it like a bird flying over a sunset on an ocean.
Cool. I like it. Can you actually zoom up on your screen for us just because it's looking a little small for me? There we go. Look at those birds. And what did those birds originally look like when you brought them in? Did they have the whole white background behind it? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you find you had to play around with that wand select tool a little bit more, or did it highlight the background?
Yes, I had to play around with it a little bit. It wasn't too hard.
No, it looks great. It looks like there's no white edges around it. I like that you were able to duplicate and reflect, and that you're thinking about kind of the sky and the ocean. Very good job. Lovely. David, why don't you share next?
Okay. Stop share.
Perfect. Okay.
All right, so I'm not done yet. I'm just gonna narrate what I was trying to write down. So this bird with the human hand is asking his ghost father for seeds, for this is all he has left.
Oh.
Isn't it beautiful? I started this as soon as I saw this picture.
Okay.
And I thought, yes.
It looks like it's blended into the background as well. Like you faded a part of it to make it look more ghost-like. Is that right?
No, that was the image.
Oh, that was the way the image looked already when you brought it in.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
That's
like
what got me to do this. Here, let me just quickly finish the text.
Sure, no problem. And would you turn this into more of like a story that you want to show, almost like a multimedia story? I think so. It looks very cool, David. I'm looking at the seed in there, and I can tell if you use the magic wand tool as well, you can get rid of that white border that you're seeing around the seed in the hand so that it blends almost seamlessly with the hand. And remember, you can always switch the font color. We'll go over some fonts next time. Okay. This is awesome, David. Thank you for sharing with us today. And thank you, Johanna. I look forward to seeing everyone else when you are comfortable sharing, of course. I'm going to ask David for you to stop sharing so I can kind of take back over with my screen. And then we will recap today.
It's beautiful.
I like the pride in your work, David. It's an awesome skill. Okay.
Let's go.
Perfect. So, David, can you stop sharing for me? Thank you. Perfect. And then I will go back to sharing my other screen. I don't know why my Zoom wants to disappear on me on this one. Huh. Oops. There we go. Share screen. It's fun working with all these devices. So now I'll go back to my AHA slides. And let's press present. So Actually, I'll go back to this one. So today we covered a bunch of really cool stuff. Kate, I see your hand up, so I'll wait till the end and I'll answer your question for you if that helps. But today we went over, of course, what is PixLr or PixLr? How can we get started? How do we actually bring an image into PixLr? And how do we start to remove that background? I want you to keep in mind the names of the tools because I'll give you a fair warning. I love doing random quizzes and asking about what tools you're using inside of the platform to accomplish certain things. So I just put a little bit of a reminder there that the wand and the arrange tools were the tools that we most focused on today. But we also talked a little bit about layers, and then we started to use the fill and gradient tool. I can see that many of you started learning how to use some of the others and doing some really, really cool effects. So what I am most interested in as we almost bring this lesson to a close is which image best describes how you're feeling after today's lesson. And you can pick more than one if that suits you, but please feel free to select now so that we can kind of see how you're all feeling today after that quick warm up with PixLr. I know some of you, none of you have answered. There we go. I like that. That's some excitement there. That's pretty cool. 2 excitements. Okay, we got a nervous SpongeBob, which is perfectly fine. You have no reason to be nervous because I'm going to be there to answer your questions and help you if you are feeling lost at any time. We've got a little bit of a what's going on face here. What's happening, which is cool. A couple of those faces. I hope you're not all lost with what we learned today. Some more excitement, and that's great. We'll stop there. So for those of you who joined today, I hope you had a fun first lesson. If you have any questions that you want to ask, please stick around. I'll stay on for another 5 minutes and I'll stop the recording, of course, so you can ask them in private. And from there, next week, we'll be meeting at the exact same time and we'll move along to something new. What I want to point out to all of you is to remember to go to our Padlet, which I'm going to put on the screen now so that you can all see what it looks like if you haven't been there already. One of the tasks that I'd love for you to do, just because I didn't get a chance to get to know many of you that quickly, is to head to our Padlet, introduce yourself, and I want to make sure that we only use our first name. The second thing I want you to tell me a little bit about is an interesting fact. And the third thing would be what you want to learn in terms of graphic design, something that excites you when you think about graphic design. And if you are looking to take and extend your skills, you've kind of mastered the removal of the background, or maybe you have already done those things before, one thing that I want you to start to play around with is the weekly practice tasks. So these are completely optional, and I usually put them there so that you can start practicing and using some of these skills in more fun ways. So feel free to kind of practice what those look like. You don't have to do it, but it will be helpful as we move forward. And it's more so that a lot of design work takes place in an independent setting in the sense that you're going to be working on that platform focused on, you know, what you want to create. And then, of course, if you do want to share your designs with us, feel free to post them here. I really encourage healthy dialogue. If you are going to comment on someone's photo or design, know that I control all the permissions. So if I see any naughty behavior, I'm going to make sure that I delete any comment that does not support or encourage others as they're learning to design. And of course, if you encounter any problems or you just don't know how to get something done, please go over to the PixLr question tab. Feel free to write it there. I'm pretty active on Padlet all the time, so I'll make sure to answer those questions before our next meeting. Last but not least, you can post resources. So I know some of you might have resources to really good graphic sites or perhaps things that you want to work off of. This is something that I encourage. Collaboration and sharing is always a fun thing when we're working on a summer course. And I look forward to getting to know all of you and your design work as we proceed in the next couple of weeks. And with that, I will make sure to stop our